Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
Wow. We were supposed to put together a little day of what we do and all. And we've had quite the day as it is, but we've got a few things we're doing. It seems like most of the time we're in the garden, right, Mary?
Yeah, it does. I think since we decided to shelter in, it's been 4 months, almost 4 months now,
Yeah.
that we've been throwing ourselves into homesteading, and we've got like a little farm here.
Oh my gosh! And it's a half an acre. Who knew you could grow this much here?
Oh gosh, you can grow a ton.
Apparently,
Except we have a house on it, and we have some trees, and we have 2 dogs that need some room.
That's right. That's right. But if you could see behind us, and we'll do a pan of it in a little bit, we have a bunch of well, those are primarily tomatoes I'm seeing, but that's that is the raised bed that we have, but it's kind of a raised bed.
Oh no, it is. It's actually a built-in raised bed in this garden patio area that I had designed about a year and a half ago. Yeah, wow, a year and a half ago. Can't believe it. It does go right down to the
and
soil.
that was what was really weird. We had a bunch of work done on the house,
Yeah.
and it all got done, and some of it we were surprised to do, but it turned out the perfect timing for when this pandemic hit.
Yeah, it was
Weird.
we finished, especially with the flower planting area, a couple of weeks before it all hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we had done
it was crazy.
It really was, because we did the terrace up front.
That was the last thing we did.
Was the last thing. Well, we did the irrigation. Was the last thing we did in terms of over by the rose garden and all that.
Yeah.
So we've been growing all sorts of stuff. We've done this for a long time, for about 10 years. Mary and I met with her starting a community garden, and
which is still going strong now.
yes,
11 years.
Yeah, it is. But everything had to slow down with the pandemic, and so this is the first time we've actually been able to put energy in our own house to actually grow things, and we've done it with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And
We always do things with a vengeance, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we took on these different projects we decided to do, and we actually did them.
And there's still more.
Yeah, and I swear I'm going to be buff after this pandemic. We're both going to be.
Oh yeah.
It's always funny when you turn around and say, well, we got to grow some more stuff, and suddenly we have a pallet of organic soil here and all. But see, that's what it grows, is like plenty of...
A couple of bales of straw.
Yeah, yeah.
Have a little masonry pile.
Yeah.
You have your wood pile.
Oh, I have, and that's the other thing.
You started putting together a wood shop in the garage.
Yeah, and I started learning how to use tools
What is that all about? And all of a sudden we need it.
Yeah, I know, but the really interesting thing for me is that I've learned how to use tools without shedding blood.
I think that's wonderful.
They're power tools, even.
Yes. I'm still old school.
But I had an opportunity, and I'm going to be doing some more of that probably in the next week or so, of building these screen shelters for the garden, and you'll see some of those to keep some of the night creatures away, like the raccoons, the possums, and
the bobcats,
mountain lion.
The mountain lions. They've been on the street. They haven't been in the property that I know of yet, but also the black bear.
The black bear as well.
Yeah.
Because we do live on a wildland interface. Makes for some interesting sounds in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, interesting things flying overhead.
Well, yeah, they're the bats and the coyotes as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the coyotes don't fly.
Well, no, but I often wonder how they scale 7-foot walls and fences,
Well, and then again, yeah, that's true. But then again, you've also cultivated this, oh my God, these flocks of birds, finches and songbirds.
I'm channeling my mother. I am channeling
I thought you were channeling a Disney movie.
No.
It's all the...
My mom loved birds.
Yeah.
Some of the ceramic birds we have in our glass cabinet, they're hers. And so the last time I really did anything with birds was as a kid with my dad feeding the pigeons. And then I said, well, it's going to take a commitment. And it certainly has.
Oh my God, I had no idea. You know, we were, and these are some things we're going to do today. Every day is filled with taking care of things here on this property, like the garden, so we make sure we have food. But we're feeding the birds, and they're coming from all over the place.
Some of them are flying pigs. That's Eleanor's name for some of them.
Yeah, they are. There's like these waddling quail.
They can't fly. They're so fat.
Yeah, that's they saw one going down and it plopped. But
They keep us laughing.
it's really funny. But I had no idea what I was going to set loose when I turned around and said, I think we need more feeder socks. And before we know it, the coat closet is filled with bird seed and dog food.
Well, yeah, because we've got to make sure that we can get them during this time, especially when so much stuff is flying off shelves. So I just, loaded up on some stuff.
I will say, though, it is nice to hear the birds in the morning when you wake up and during the day, and they're always around.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually looking at Mary with a specific look when their feeders are down, with like, when the heck are you going to feed us?
Yeah,
They look mean.
And some of them, the feeder socks, you'll see them because we're going to show you when we feed them back in the backyard here. They latch on to them, and they're little tiny songbirds and finches. And I'm going to feed them, and they're like, as far as you are from me. And I'm saying, please get off the socks. They recognize me. It's like, I want
Yeah, they
food.
do. They really
but
do.
I have to unlatch the feeder and do that. So I go to reach out, and they finally fly off, and they'll go on a branch somewhere and just watch.
Yeah.
It's like Hitchcock the birds.
It really
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
except they're demanding. They're really demanding. And of course, there was the hawk who got really annoyed at Molly for
Molly's, one
taking
of our
his
two
kill.
dogs. Yeah.
We have two mastiffs. One that took one of the kill that must have been the hawks, and
It was a rabbit.
it was a rabbit. And I looked out the window and saw a hawk near the pool on the pool deck, and like going, whoa. We usually see them flying up in the air quite a bit, and well, of course they fly up in the air.
It
They're
was
not gonna
looking
fly
for
anywhere
its
else.
dinner.
Yeah, it was, and
And
it was not none too happy about the whole
Molly
thing.
dragged it up to the patio. We got rid of it, and then I said, "You better hide."
Yeah, really, really. But you know what, Mary? I got to say, this whole thing with the pandemic and putting ourselves into growing things, besides the fact that, it's a medical fact that when you put your hands in dirt, it releases chemicals like Prozac
Yeah,
through your hands.
that's why gardeners are so happy.
um,
I'm not depressed when I'm gardening. I'm not depressed in general, but boy, if I'm feeling down, I put my hands in soil and garden.
Well, but it's also, I mean, for me, I don't know what's happening, but I know that it gives me a lot of time to reflect and think about where we're at, and then, also
Absolutely.
release some real frustration with what's happening in the world today. Frustration with people who insist that this is a hoax and don't do what they need to do. And then the pure meanness of people that, we're seeing. Granted, it's all a minority, but
but it's a loud minority, and at the end of the day, it's affecting the lives of the majority who are doing what we're supposed to do to try and contain this virus. It's making it very difficult and it's going to be much more prolonged than it really needs to be. But, that's how it is. We are just so fortunate, though, to have a place that we call our sanctuary, and it's very green. It's probably one of the only places on this non-street, if you will, of all the homes that are here. And we're not on top of each other, luckily, but that has any measurable degree of greenery.
yeah,
Other
we really are.
Other than some palm trees and a few bushes, but it's like,
Palm trees aren't palms, aren't trees.
no, that's right, they're grasses.
Right.
Yeah. So you'll get a chance to see a little bit of that as we go around and all.
No, we have
Yeah.
very well, and this is attributed to a lot of the work that's been done on this property in growing things,
Oh yeah.
and it really is. It's very calming for us to be around things that are growing. One of the things I've really realized, and some of the things how things have just so radically slowed down at this time, is everything from how we have to sanitize all our
Packages.
deliveries and stuff like that, is how much I'm slowing down and have to be aware of my surroundings. And slowing down hasn't been a bad thing for me. And being aware of my surroundings is not a bad thing for me.
No.
So, I mean, I think I'm coming out with that's a good thing.
So that's a good thing. Growing is a wonderful thing. And what you're doing in your wood shop is creating, just like I'm creating spaces to grow, you're creating all sorts of things with your wood shop. Planter boxes. You're creating the screens that protect our plants at night. I mean, that's very, very
Well,
positive.
it
It's
is.
uplifting.
Well, in general, I really am very angry at people right now. I'm usually pretty angry at people now that I think about it. But, I was really getting into a snit. And I was getting really, really annoyed. And sometimes, people see my Facebook page, they'll see me starting to accelerate that snit. But what I've been doing in the evening is, and it has been calming, and it has been a refocus, is my gratitude. The things that I can list that I'm grateful for, like yourself, and the life we have. Though I miss my children, I'm grateful that they're healthy and they're safe. And I'm grateful for our friends who check in with us. I'm grateful for the visits from the hawk and the singing and even squawking birds.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the really, really yummy strawberries
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and the yummy peaches and all. So,
I'm generally a hopeful person, almost to a fault sometimes. And I always say I do have a healthy dose of reality to temper that. But sometimes I've been finding it hard to be hopeful because of what I see happening. And what I know is coming, with my background in healthcare and in science and clinical research. And but then I look around at the joys of everything we talked about again, the joy of you and me and us together, the joy of our dogs that keep us laughing all the time, the birds, the growing, that we're so fortunate to have to this space and to do that. And then that in and of itself turns it right around and gives me hope. Planting a seed is hope that it's going to grow. Yeah.
but I
Planting a
also
tree,
think
the same thing.
I think it's about finding the balance in
It is.
the moment,
Yeah.
where you're at, what you're doing, and and every day it's an effort to maintain that balance. You say planting a seed, some days I don't feel like planting, some days I don't feel like growing, and I try really hard to not impose that on me, but to go with it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, listen to yourself, listen to your body, everything, and
yeah, but I do admit that I'm going to be turning 62 this September, and I feel how my body feels. It's not as young as I'm not getting any younger,
no.
and that doesn't sadden me. It saddens me actually a little bit with this pandemic because I really feel cheated
I know.
out of
I
this
know.
time.
I know.
I feel cheated there's a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah.
Cheated that this time is being taken away from me.
I know. But I look at it too as time given back to us that we otherwise wouldn't have had.
Oh yeah, that's a good way of thinking. Wow. Well, let's show people what we're doing today and some of the things that we have been doing. Yeah, and there goes another butterfly. Maybe we'll see one on our way out. All right, let's see. Let's show this menagerie of green. All right, folks, you see this?
There's lots of tomatoes underground. There's sweet potatoes growing. We've got chilies in there, more tomatoes.
You can see the chilies. Not the actual chilies, but those are the plants. And then, okay, this is hilarious.
This is not a cucumber. It is.
It's actually a loofah.
Yes.
It's a loofah.
Eleanor started growing them last season.
Look at the beautiful flower. they're loofahs, and what we're going to do is eventually they will be dried, and then we'll peel them off, the outer skin off, and have a bunch of sponges.
We got lots of cucumbers. We have eggplant.
And these are the structures I built to keep the animals away in
They're
that bag.
awesome. So grateful for that, Eleanor.
Yeah, so am I.
It's so easy to manage in sections and all.
So you could put some celery in there?
Well, let's both do that.
I would, but I don't have the steamer.
Oh, you want to get it?
No, it's all right. Go ahead and do this. We'll do it. They can see my hand.
All right. You do it.
All right. There we go. Yeah, just pop it in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we did do these from kitchen scraps, right?
Yeah. It's the bottom, the woody part of organic celery bunches that we got from the store, and we just set them in some water in the shade on the table outside or inside, and it's growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, look
Boy,
at
we're
that.
going to have thin through here to try and get everything that we grew.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of cucumbers yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
We'll eat those eventually. All righty. Okay, and look at, folks, these are our strawberries. Those don't look so good, but that's all right.
That'll be fine.
Little geraniums. Here's the mother plant.
This is our nursery, our strawberry nursery. Because the stores don't have strawberries right now. It's not in season because they're fruiting. So yeah, look at those. Those are the little ones. And just
What are those
rooting.
called?
They're called stolons.
Stolen? They stole them?
They're I guess.
Okay.
Stolons.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like the runners. Anyway, pretty soon we'll be ready to cut the umbilical cord. But look, they're even producing it. So this is going to be a multiplication factor.
I
here.
see more strawberries. Those are the sweetest strawberries I've ever tasted. They really are. See, you get a little bit, see, of the straw and the wood that we have. This is our apricot tree that never produces. This is the hairnet on our peaches.
It's a repurposed mosquito netting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had to do this because the birds we have keep on eating everything.
And so do the bees. They puncture the holes in them and everything. Look at that.
Look at
that.
those.
Oh my gosh.
See
They're so
those
good.
peaches?
They're so good.
They're yummy.
Ooh, I'm going to pick one later and eat them.
Okay. And then this is a project you've been taking on for some time.
Yeah, we wanted to add another growing space. So got a flat area, fencing, put the screen up so critters can't get in, burlap around it so, the soil doesn't get out. And
So you're going to be
Still
doing more
working
on
on it.
this today?
I am, unless it gets too hot, then I'm jumping in the pool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Our lemon tree.
let's show them the children's. We've repurposed this play set. Since we can't be with our grandchildren, we have them in spirit. So we've repurposed this, the astromerias and the other hanging plants. What's this saint we have here?
Oh, Saint Fiacre?
Saint
Yeah.
Fiacre.
Yeah, I found out that Saint Fiacre was a patron saint of gardens and also taxi cabs. Don't ask, I have no idea why.
And some watermelons.
And this is a repurposed crate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some watermelons.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of lavender. And then some more, some star jasmine to give it a nice kind of scent out here. And
Yeah. And we have avocado trees.
yeah, we do.
I forgot to show you a mango tree that was in the garden area that you have been nurturing for 5 years now.
Yeah, and
we-
then of course there's our swing.
Yeah.
So that we can just relax. You better feed these birds though. I hear them. They're looking at you, Mary. They're looking at you. Now you're gonna put them up because I don't have the height to put them up.
I already filled some of these just before
Okay.
you came down. So, yeah, these are the feeder socks for the songbirds because the larger birds can't get their beaks into these. Yeah, and
I took the compost out this morning
oh, good. Oh, good.
so that we can get those taken care of. How many feeders do we have about now?
Down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7, and we have about 11 in the front.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Remember the day that you asked me, we have a lot of feeder stocks. I says, well, yeah, you said you wanted more, and so you were loading them in the cart. This was about 6 months ago.
I haven't done that in a long time.
I know. That's because we haven't been out. Oh, the birds are going to love me today.
Yeah, until they're done eating them today.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Flying pigs.
these are our dogs, Molly and Bear.
Yeah, Smiley for Bear.
And this was a project that Mary was doing in terms of all our succulents that were given to us by a good friend. And she just kind of hauled these rocks to make up this little rock garden. I don't know.
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing today. And this is what we're going through each day. And we really...
And you know, up top, you've got your beautiful rose garden, and in the front of the house, you have a beautiful rose garden. And Eleanor just nurtures the roses and cares for them, and they are rewarding us with blooms and blooms and blooms. And then there's, quote, Eleanor's flowers, unquote, that I coined because you make the most beautiful flower arrangements.
Yeah, there's nothing like fresh flowers to adorn your home, huh?
I know.
But yeah, this has been good. I've learned a lot through this time.
Yeah. Lucky we like each other so much.
Oh my God, yeah.
I know.
I don't know if I could do this with anybody else.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for giving us this opportunity to share a little bit about what we're doing with our life.
We're looking forward
today.
to reading some of your diaries too.
Bye.
Bye.